Good evening, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So we have another coaching series here. I've been on Instagram here and Twitter Spaces for a few minutes. So we're getting started on Zoom. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers this beautiful evening. We're definitely thankful for all you meeting it. We got quite a few people on Instagram here. Instagram, I know you cannot unmute yourself and just speak up, but if there is a question that you have, just go ahead and drop a comment below. And I'm going to go ahead and pin our website there for coaching, if that's what you're looking as well. So, all right. So let me see. Yeah, bear with me. Here we go. Different offers, different setup, different green board, all kinds of stuff is what we got going. All right. And again, Instagram, if you want to get a better visual of the Zoom of what I'm sharing, of course, because I am sharing the screen, okay, visit GarciaMHU.com. Click on any of the social media links there. We're on every social media platform that we can think of. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, okay, all the above. Click on those, click on the stories, and you will see the credentials to the Zoom. This is no charge for this call, so join us on there as well, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. This is only a 30-minute call, so we try to cover as much as we can. Don't forget to stay to the end where we also cover advertisements, things that are coming up, and we got quite a few on those, so we'll be talking about that. But okay, you got a mobile home that you're buying, you're getting ready to buy. I hope you haven't bought it if you have not done due diligence, and I hope you haven't paid if you haven't done due diligence. So those are number two keys, right? A lot of people, a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with an investor, a wholesaler, or somebody who, as they quotations claims, they know what they're doing, they're probably going to immediately ask you for a deposit, a non-refundable deposit at that. That being said on something like that, it's, you know, I don't do deposits on really any property that any mobile home that I put under contract. The most I'll ever do is typically about $100, you know, that it's on hold. And again, if it's non-refundable, in my mind, I'm thinking it's not so much of a loss. But again, I don't put anything on a contract that I'm not certain of. I'm going to teach you a few sites that you can use, that you can do some due diligence, even before you reach out to a seller. If you know where the mobile home is at, if it's in a community, you know the address, you have the simple basic information. There are a few people you can start calling, a few phone calls you can make, and a few sites that you can visit. When I go out and see a property, I'm not going to see it for the first time to gather the information. 9 out of 10 chances I've got all the information and then some. You know, one thing about especially direct sellers, a lot of times they don't have the information. Well, my title is at my aunt's house, somewhere where I got to go chase it down, got to get it back, okay? And what year is it? I don't remember. What's the size of it? I'm not sure. Okay, so you're starting to get into that idea, right? And that's okay, okay? When you're dealing with a direct seller, that's many times that's understandable. If you're dealing with mobile homes down in Florida or close to, you know, another question that comes in mind is what win zone. I don't think I've ever had anybody come back and immediately give me, oh, it's a 2, oh, it's a 1. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about when I say win zone, stay tuned for another Sunday coaching series where we'll cover win zones, what they mean, and why it is a requirement in certain states, certain cities, and certain areas. We'll cover that as well, okay? But okay, one of the first things that I want to do when I am seeing before I go see a mobile home is I want to find out basic information, okay? So the year, the make, the model, how many bedrooms, bathrooms. I don't trust a whole lot more past you know, the basic information that I can actually verify from a seller, especially, but I will ask this, what condition do you think the mobile home is in? They tend to either lie to me, okay, not tell me the truth, which is the same thing, or extend much of the truth some way or another, okay? Well, it has a couple small sections of the flooring, but it's nothing bad. You can get it fixed for this amount. It can get done in 5 minutes. In my mind, I'm always thinking, well, why have you not done this, right? If it's so easy, so simple, and so affordable or cheap, why have you not fixed it yourself? I'm not going to ask that, okay? Don't ask that, but that's fine. But I always, in my mind, I always keep this idea that if they say it's a small section, it's probably a whole bedroom. That's, you know, especially if it's got particle board, and if it's soft in one area just from wear and tear, then that whole flooring is probably got to go. Now, why are you keeping in mind this? Is obviously because of the expenses. Remember, in your mind, you should always have the ROI. What is the return on the investments? What's going to come out when it's all said and done? It's all final. Okay, this is where we're starting to get estimates of. And here's a tip for you all real quick. Even if everything checks out information-wise, there's no taxes, there's no liens, there's nothing to do behind. If you're not in the same ballpark in the price asking, you know, a lot of you spent hours driving to a property. Well, they want 10,000. I know for a fact it's only worth 3,000. You really consider yourself that great of a negotiator that by the time you get there 2 hours later, somehow they're going to say, yes, you are correct. 3,000 it is. It's not going to happen that way. A lot of those deals like that, they're not deals until you do multiple follow-ups. Means a call next week, a call a couple weeks from there. Hey, I know you were set on a certain price, but you know, I'm still interested. I'm still buying in the area. Don't forget my offer of 3,000 is still on the table. You know, that's better off than driving 2 hours thinking you're going to go and pursue a deal and make it into that. A seller is already on defense. Remember that. A seller is on defense. So when you offer anything, okay, anything less than what they're asking, you're low balling and you're trying to take advantage. That's how they're going to see you. So again, I want to be on the same page. And even that, you know, this reminds me, we had a mobile home in Augusta, Georgia. It was a little south of Augusta, Georgia. And the individual came from 15 to 13,000 to finally we got them at what we top dollar, what we could pay for the mobile home. Okay, $8,000. Now, 8,000, we were still a little higher than what I like to be. The home was really more around maybe 6,500. But we thought, you know what, it checks out. It's not a slam dunk, but it's an okay deal. Well, we drive out there at this point, and this is a partner of mine that drove out there, went to make sure everything else checked out at this point because it really was a done deal. Well, the owner decided that, yeah, after thinking it over, okay, you made the offer and I took it at the moment, but the more I think about it, yeah, I think I'm going to have that 13K. That kind of stuff happens, you know, so that's something to also expect. I like to put things on writing, okay, and we're going to get to that. You got to put these things in writing as well. Now, anything can fall apart. You know, that's another thing. Is just because you have it in a piece of paper, it is a legal document. It does not mean that certain things won't come out. Life will happen, right? Long story short on that one there is we said, well, you know, it's pretty aggravating. You call us out here. We drive out to see what we do the final walkthrough, basically pay you, take the title, and we're good. And you change your mind. You could have called us before we drove up. But okay, with 13, we cannot do. No way it's going to happen. Left it alone. We were a little aggravated, but this is part of business. And a lot of times it could just be another phone call. Okay. So we did. We had to set to call him back in about 3 weeks. And of course, in less than a week, he called back. He called back and said, you know what? I called you out here for no reason. I'll go ahead and take your 8,000. What really happened in that sense is he went into a shopping spree. He went out to shop for buyers and tried to get 13K out of them and probably didn't get even an 8,000 offer. So at that point, we were the highest offer. We could have negotiated that a little bit more, and you know, it is what it is. Things happen. So I'm trying to, you know, give you tips as we're going along. These kind of things are, you know, you cannot take it personal. I'll say that. A lot of investors, they screwed me out of this. They didn't give me, you know, you can't take it personal like that. You know, everything in life, you know, can be resolved. And if you treat it correctly, you approach it right, you know, it's better off than getting aggravated and never answering a phone call or, you know, personal does not work, right? One of my coaches said, you know, personal feelings and emotions do not pay the bills. They don't have bank accounts. So don't depend on those. Okay. But let me jump on this. Time is rolling. And again, you know, I'm used to the Wednesday webinar calls. Wednesday webinar calls are where we coach for about an hour to an hour and a half on these topics. We got a lot more time. So I've got to get over there and sign up for that. Let's jump on this here. qpublic.net. I want to make sure that part of the basic information, the year, the make, the model, the bedroom size, you know, all that, you know, and we're going to get that. Okay. I don't want a mobile home that has liens. What is a lien exactly on a mobile home? A lien means that a title, for instance, is registered with the city, a county, and I just chose this county for no reason, by the way. You know, the different counties on the next page I'm going to show y'all. But when it gets registered, it gets paid every year like a car, like a vehicle, unless you're in specific little states like Texas. Well, it's not little, but there they do taxes differently. But for the most part, okay, in our states where we cover, you have to pay taxes every year. It means you're re-registering the vehicle because that's what a mobile home is. A mobile home is considered personal property with a VIN, much like a car. So every year you have to go pay taxes. They give you a decal, you stick it on the window, and you keep rolling. If for whatever reason, one year you decide you're not going to pay them, You forgot, you dismissed it, doesn't matter. It didn't get paid. Okay. At this point, once it passes the time lapse that they give you, which here in Georgia, it's April. If you don't pay by April 1st, they give you until the 4th, and then there's another extension if you request it. If not, after that, they put what is considered a beginning of a lien. Beginning of a lien also includes a late fee on there. So when you do come in and pay in June, whenever it is, okay, you got a fee behind it. Now, what happens if next year rolls around and you decide, or you forget to pay the taxes on it? Well, now you got 2 years, okay? You're 2 years behind. Now there is a lien. And most county states, depends on where you're at, okay? After X amount of years, Georgia, where we're at, typically is 2 years. That mobile home actually gets put on a tax sale. The same way property, okay? Land, commercial, stick bill, any of those real estate properties, right? They get placed on this property tax sale, and that's what they do every Wednesday or every Tuesday or whatever day it is of the month, where they sell these properties at the doorsteps of the courthouse. Your mobile home will be listed there, and of course, all they're trying to do is get back what they have in it, what you owe in other sense, right? Issue with that is if you buy a mobile home and it has 2 years behind and it happens to be already going on a tax sale, well, one, hopefully it hasn't bypassed and just nobody bought it. That does happen also. You're going to have to pay those. You are the new owner will be charged with those 2 years behind, and also any fees. Plus, if they already registered to put it on the tax sale, there's an additional fee that comes with it. You won't be able to transfer the title. And no, you cannot go to the tax assessor's office and claim it. Well, that's not mine. I bought it just a couple of days ago, and that must have been theirs. Well, you bought it. It is yours now. You have the title, and now it's your responsibility. That's how that works. Lesson hard learned. We had to do that early in my career, where I sped up through a deal. It was too good to be true, one of those kind of things. And it was over the weekend where I couldn't make any phone calls. I didn't know these systems that I'm showing you all. And when it came Monday morning, I went and checked check on the taxes, and sure enough, oh, this is actually going on a tax sale in about a couple of weeks. Oh, now what? Almost $900 that we had to pay on that, on top of what we paid on the mobile home. Doesn't make it a break or make or break, but again, it's one of those things that if you knew better, you do your thorough due diligence, you would have checked it. You would have pre-checked before any of the above. Okay. So this site here that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you one of the first mobile home parks that I invested in. Okay. Let's see. We're going to start with this in details. I should have showed you. You know what? I want to show you the other system first. Yeah, bear with me 1 second. I want to make sure that Twitter Spaces, and y'all are fine. Ain't a whole lot going on over there, but property taxes. Okay, so if you look up any city, okay, any county, in this case, I chose Houston County, Warner Robins, Georgia property. This is Central Georgia. For those of you that know Georgia, it's Central Georgia, good area, hot market for sure, both for real estate and mobile homes, okay, and picking up a lot more. Here is where you can actually come in, and like I said, you know the simple basic information, you know the owner's name, you can try that, okay, that's the beginning of the map, the parcel, the property ID, okay, same as serial, the tax bill. You would have to own the mobile home to actually get a tax bill. It's nothing more than an actual bill that comes to you and says this year you owe X amount. You would have to put the number. You obviously don't have it, right, because that ain't your home. And then you have the property address. That is typically the most and simplest way to search it up, because again, you know it. Now make sure when you are trying property address that you do put a lot number. A lot of investors say, well, it's got a whole address that's popping up. And yes, of course, if it's in a community mobile home park and there's tons of lots, like it should, you're only going to be able to see the park. You got to be able to put a lot number. So we put on that. But when you look at these, tax bill, you're not going to have unless you own it, like I said. But what about map, parcel, and property ID? Now, what you're really trying to do with this site here is almost play pretend. Play pretend that you already own the mobile home. You're trying to come in here, you're trying to see what your bill is this year or last year. Because what's going to happen is when you put the address to the property you're trying to buy, again, if they owe 1 year, 2 year, or even more, it will pop on here. 2021, this is due. 2022, this is due. I've seen some where I come in here and 8 years behind, okay? Every year it shows, and of course it's increasing, plus late fees, plus more and more. So, just again, things to keep in mind. But this map parcel property, so if you go to qpublic.net. Okay. Here's where you can find all the information to the actual lot. Okay, so I'm going to just pick one out of these here. And again, this is actually the very first mobile home park I ever invested in. Okay, so you put the address like you saw me type in, and you click on one of these. All these are a lot, meaning a different lot number. As you can see, this park has quite a bit. If you find an MO2, which is one of the first parcels, a lot of parks have this, a lot don't. If you look at these, there's no lot numbers. So what do? You just go one by one. You're talking a whole day's event on that. We're not going to do that. So I'm going to click on the MO2, which again, some parks have it, some do not. This one does, and there is the lot numbers, right? That's what I want to find. I want to make this as easy and as quickly for me as I can. And I'm going to just pick one. It does not matter to me what it is, right? So let's just click lot 83. There it is. And there's the information. And on top, they add a picture of the mobile home, which is an oldie. Let's see if I can zoom in. There she is. Okay. And again, all we're doing is our research, our homework on this. Okay. So now here's where the information is at. Account number. Okay. Now you remember where I said parcel number. There it is. Parcel number. MO2, you can go type it up and search for the address. So you're making this easier on yourself by gathering all this information. Again, this is a mobile home. Let's just pretend that somebody's trying to sell me lot 132. They called me. They said, this is what I got. And you'd be surprised how many people tell me they have a 1999 mobile home and it's really a 96 or different number. No big deal, but we have to confirm, obviously, right? So you gather all the information, and all this I'm doing before I even make them an offer or I even go out there. When I present myself to them, I already know what they owe. I've even called the park and find out what kind of lot rent they owe as well. Okay. So scrolling down, this is all the details that you need. What is the manufacturer? What is the model of the mobile home? What is the year? 96. What is the width? 16 by 76. Really consider 16 by 80. That's a big mobile home, by the way. That's the biggest single wides they make. Even look at this, the serial number. The serial number is the most important number on a vehicle, on a motorcycle, on a boat, and on a mobile home. That is the actual identification number. Also consider that. It's either serial number, ID number. You can find them the same, and that's what we need. We got all the information here to do all of our research that we need, right, to find out the details. And of course, I always love when they put a value. You know, I yet to see an actual tax assessor come out and try to value something of a mobile home. You know, I say when you're going to take the time to put an actual number on it, make sure you actually walk in and out of the mobile home. But we'll leave that for another call, right? So you got all the information you need. And again, something like this, you can take the parcel number on it, go back to the county, and you type it into that and you hit search. Okay, it is that simple. You do this and it will hit you with every bill. I'm not going to do that on here for y'all. Okay, y'all can do that on y'all's own, but you hit that on there and it gives you all the information. So now that's going to make me aware of any liens and any taxes that are due. Okay, if certain, and I know there is, you know, Florida being one of them, for instance, they're so private with all their public records that you cannot get in, jump on this, and just start seeing all this beautiful information we have available here in our site in Georgia. Okay, we're blessed for that. So that means that you can do as simply as call the tax assessor's office. Okay, any tax assessor's office or DMV, if that's what you prefer to do, or that's what the city county has in their place. A lot of times it's a DMV, and let them know I'm looking to buy lot 132 located in certain county. I just want to make sure and verify that there's no backhoe taxes and there's no liens on a mobile home. Can you help me out? As simple as that. They will give you the information of what you need. And then at that point, again, you're able to move forward. Man, those 30 minutes went by fast. What happens when you're having fun, right? Again, let me advertise a couple of things and then I'm going to take some questions. So we're going to get into a lot more into this due diligence because there are quite a few more steps. We're going to talk about bill of sales. We're going to talk about title transfers. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff to come, and that happens on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have mobile home investing coaching with myself where we cover these topics. We go a lot more in depth, and at the end of the call, we always have an open floor, any mobile home related questions, not just in regards to the topic, but any that you may have at that time. If you want to join that, here on Instagram, I've already pinned the GarciaMHU.com. You can visit that and go check it out. Zoom, as always, you can go send us an email as well. I did not put my email on Instagram just yet. There y'all go. Okay. And then don't forget the Shadow Live event, the live event where you get to come out by my side. It is the first 2-day event that we've ever done till now. It's always been a 1-day event, 2-day event where we spend first day in a classroom setting where we're going to teach you every topic, every specific to investing in mobile home, whether you're new, getting your next deal, or trying to maximize, multiply, whichever. We will cater to all the above, and we will be coaching in person. Second day, okay, we have guest speakers coming to the event along with park owners, park managers, contractors, and handyman, even an insurance agent, because yes, always protect your assets, right? Your mobile homes in this case. So we're going to have let me flip that. There we go. Okay. And I'll get to a couple of these questions here in a minute on Instagram, but so we'll cover all the above. The second day caters to the first day where we have a shuttle that picks us up, takes us out to the park, and now you get to visually. Okay, I've heard you talk, I've showed you, shown me a lot of this stuff here, but what does it actually look like in person? I'm the type of person I learn a lot more if I'm seeing it visually versus you teaching me off a book, a computer, or okay. So we'll take you out to a community park where we'll show you meaning distressed mobile homes that have not been worked on, mobile homes that are being worked on, and mobile homes that are ready for the market. We'll be out there showing you all the above, and we'll have a couple surprises, a couple guest speakers on there as well. So a lot to come from that. Sign up again, GarciaMHU.com. Visit the Shadow events, okay? June 25th, June 26th. And then Tuesday, do not forget on Tuesday, we have the Let's Do Deals. That's where we pitch mobile home deals. We got quite a bit of inventory. We got a lot of inventory. We visited some new areas. Tallahassee, Florida, for instance, one of them, we got over 80 mobile homes available right now, but a lot of due diligence is being done. I don't want to bring you a deal, okay, if it's not a deal. I don't want to bring you a mobile home. Same thing I just got through talking about here. If it has liens, if there's back owed taxes, or I'm not going to put it on the sheet. We're not going to present that because it obviously has issues need to be clarified first. So we're dealing with that. Example, we got Central Georgia, another park in Warner Robins, Georgia, with about 15 mobile homes sitting, doing nothing. Why? Simply because it's been shut down by the city, and they're not allowing it to clear at this time. So it's something we're fighting back and forth. We're hoping everything clears up very soon. I do not have a date on that, but there's about 15 mobile homes as well. Okay. Any questions real quick here I can take? I do have following coachings right after this call. And yes, we do direct coaching one-on-one as well. Everything is on the site. Everything, check out GarciaMHU.com. Let's see. All right. I don't see any questions at this time. So I like to feel I've done my job tonight, answer everybody's questions before you can ask them. So that's always makes me feel good. So, okay. That being said, thank you all for joining. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jay. Bye.